What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to find the circumference and area of a circle. And I'm also going to teach you how to write your answer in terms of pi. All right, so we have a few formulas to find the circumference and area of a circle. So let's cover the circumference first. So here we have the circumference C is equal to 2 times pi times r, where r is the radius. And then the other one is the circumference C is equal to pi times d, where d is the diameter. All right, so let's just make sure we understand what these terms mean. So first of all, the circumference is just the distance around the circle. Okay, so if you started at just any point on the circle, it's the distance to just go around the circle and just get back to that point right there. Okay, so that's the circumference. Now the radius is just the distance from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, or to the side of the circle. Okay, and the diameter is the distance from one side of the circle to the other side of the circle, and you always have to run through the center point again. All right, so those are your key terms. So now let's find the circumference of these two circles right here, starting with this one on the left. So you can see that here it gives us the diameter, right? And it tells us that it's 15 inches. All right, so since we know the diameter, let's use the formula that uses the diameter. That would be this second formula, right? C is equal to pi d. So we know that the circumference C is equal to pi times d, the diameter. So then here we can get that the circumference is equal to pi times d, and again, d is 15 inches, right? So we're going to plug in 15 inches right there for d. Now we can multiply some stuff together, right? We can multiply this 15 times this pi, which is just equal to 15 pi. So we can write our answer as C is equal to 15 pi. And remember, our units are inches, right? So make sure you always include your units. So this would be our final answer right here. The circumference is equal to 15 pi inches. Now, if you wanted to get an approximate answer for here, remember pi, and I'll just write it up here, pi is approximately equal to 3.14. So if you plugged in 3.14 right here for pi, you could just do 15 times 3.14, and you'd find that the circumference is approximately equal to 47.1 inches. Okay, so then this is our actual answer, our very precise answer, and then this is just an approximate answer down here. Okay, let's go to this next circle. So to find the circumference of this circle, here it's giving us the radius. So let's use the formula with the radius. So C is equal to 2 pi r. So r in this case is 4 centimeters, right? So let's plug in that for r right there. So we're going to get that C is equal to 2 pi times 4 centimeters. Okay, so then here we can multiply the numbers together, right? We can multiply 4 and 2 together. So 4 times 2 is equal to 8. So we can get that the circumference is equal to 8 pi, and our units are centimeters. Okay, so again, this is our exact answer, and if you wanted to approximate this again, you could plug in 3.14 for pi, and you would get that the circumference here is approximately equal to 12.56 centimeters, right? So there's an approximation. Now let's move on to the area. So again, we have two formulas for the area because one uses the radius and the other one uses the diameter. Okay, so the first formula is just the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared, and the other one is the area is equal to pi times the diameter squared all over 4. Okay, so let's try and first find the area of this circle right here. So here we can see it's giving us the radius, and it's 7 meters. All right, so we know it's the radius, so let's use the formula with the radius, which is this first one right here. So the area is equal to pi r squared. So then we know the radius right here is equal to 7 meters. So we'll plug in 7 meters right there. So we get that the area is equal to pi times 7 meters squared. Now, this exponent, you have to apply it to everything inside the parentheses. So you have to apply it to the number 7 and to the units, so m, meters. So then I can rewrite this as the area is equal to pi times, and then I can rewrite this as 7 squared times meters squared. Okay, so I'm applying this exponent to everything that's in the parentheses, right? Now 7 squared, that's equal to 49, and then m squared is just equal to m squared. So inside the parentheses, we have 49 meters squared. So the area is equal to pi times 49 meters squared. Now we can multiply the 49 and the pi, right? So we could just basically reverse these two, and I can write it as the area is equal to 49 pi, and then again our units at the very end are meters squared. Okay, and again, if you wanted to approximate the answer and just plug in 3.14 for pi, you would get that this is approximately equal to 153.86 meters squared. Okay, and I'm going to erase this just to make a little extra room for this last problem. So for this last circle, we're given that the diameter of the circle is 6.9 feet. So for the diameter, we want to use this second formula right here. So, and I'll just write it over here to the side a little bit. The area is equal to pi d squared all over 4. So here we know that the diameter is equal to 6.9 feet. So let's plug that in for d right here. So then the area is equal to pi times 6.9 feet squared all over 4. Now again, to apply this exponent to what's inside the parentheses, we have to apply it to everything, so to the number and to the units. So I can rewrite it as the area is equal to pi times, in parentheses, 6.9 squared times feet squared. And again, this is all over 4. Okay, now in order to simplify what we have in here, 6.9 squared, if you plug that into your calculator, you'll get that this is equal to 47.61, right? So then here, this is going to be equal to pi times 47.61, and then our units are feet squared, right? Feet squared. And again, this is all over 4. Now the last thing we want to do, since we want to write our answer in terms of pi, we're going to leave pi alone, but we can simplify this, right? 47.61 divided by 4. So this would be equal to 11.9, approximately 11.9. So then here we can say that the area is equal to pi times 11.9, and then our units are still feet squared, all right? So then if we multiply these two guys together, 11.9 times pi, we could just reverse the order, and we can finally write that as 11.9 pi, and then our units are feet squared. So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below.